Well, I guess I'm still harping on Beau of the fifth column's letter. His answers to this one particular writer who's this activist, definitely probably a first year at a community college or less than that. I'm criticizing about it because the way the questions are coming up. Yes, the writer's got some serious questions here, but sometimes I think there's not enough deep thought on this one and not enough research to come up with something because I know history and political science professors will tear this kid apart. Even at a community college level, they'll tear him apart, and they want to get more specific out of this kid. So he's going to an internet source of trying to get that information, someone else's viewpoint. As I said before, history, history, history. Currently, it's 6:33 in the morning West Coast time for Monday, the 13th of May, 2024. The Weaver, John City of Roseman, California, digesting a piece of banana. Okay, this is the last video for this morning. Hopefully, because I still gotta find some more room in the flash drive here. But answering the Roads to the College Foreign Policy Questions video that Beau had put out. And I suppose he wasn't expecting anybody else to be responding to this thing, but some of these questions I'm asking myself, why was this out here and not addressed to the college professors? If this was indeed a college student, then history professors and political science professors would have been the ones to go to. At least the ones over here in community college out in Antelope Valley. I know they would have been pushing me further on this one. They would want me to search, but they also want me to ask a question, even though it's a dumb one. It means I am having an area that needs to be filled, and I need to find out where I can research it. We depend a lot on internet. We depend upon the information being put into the into the zeros and ones format, so we can research what we can. But we have books. We have hard copy. It's taken a long time for students to do researching in these formats before the electronic age came out. There's nothing wrong with going through the pages. They'll give you some information, but not the context or perspective. That comes on your own viewpoint of how you're looking at things and wondering if it's the same, if it's the valid viewpoint. But it's your viewpoint. And as I said before in my other videos, you got the one topic, but you got every other viewpoint looking at the same damn thing. You want to look at your own, you have to look at everybody else's viewpoint, I guess. So maybe in this one fashion, Beau is one viewpoint looking at it as he's trying to analyze it and figure it out. Is this student embarrassed or should be embarrassed about asking these questions? No. But I'd be asking the learned before I'd go onto the internet. I'd be going checking through the periodicals, the books, and every other kind of literature that I could find to get an accurate image or a perceived accurate image of what I need to look at here. Foreign policy isn't the easiest damn thing. Dealing with countries isn't the easiest damn thing. Political science classes will be teaching you that. And they'll be asking of you to expand your knowledge base, to expand your opinions of what your viewpoints are. Are they shared by the professor or are they not? When you're in college, you're supposed to be pleasing the professors, but the professors are still trying to push you into directions that you didn't realize. Push you into a line of thinking that seems to be incredulous. Take, for example, philosophy, critical thinking and philosophy. There are professors in my college, Antelope Valley College of Lancaster, California. Some have differing opinions about how to look at philosophy, how to tear things apart with philosophy, or even use a mathematical formula on how to figure things out regarding philosophy. One of these approaches hardly anybody gets because the professor is that deep. And I've seen a lot of students flunk out, even me, but I stayed the course. But then, even then, I tried to apply it towards common sense logic. He wasn't thinking about common sense logic. He was thinking about a different form of logic that I'd never come across in my own life. Either I'm up for his challenge again for next time, or else I'm going to pick another route because this guy is deep. But if I really want to be challenged by this guy, then I got to think about what he's thinking about. And believe me, after listening to his lectures, I'm still not quite convinced whether or not he's mad or if I've lost it. There are professors that will challenge you. Be creative. Be inventive. Be self-explanatory. Be explanatory. Concise. Be observant. Not be passive, but be active. Understand. Question. Challenge. Critique. Push the boundaries. I'm hearing a student on this one particular video through a letter that Beau is doing. And I want to challenge this particular student if I could get that kid to see my video so I can challenge this kid directly on this one. From one student peer to another. Yeah, I'm 58 years old. I shouldn't be called a peer. I should be called like an old fart or something like that. But even us old farts had knowledge of what we were going through during those times. Experiences. Concerning about what the hell the world's coming across. Yeah, it's a challenging life that we're dealing with. That's why I kept saying, history, history, history. They'll be scratching your heads and trying to ask, why is he saying that all the time? Because history keeps teaching us, but we're too damn stupid to learn it. We keep repeating nearly the same damn mistakes without realizing what we're doing. Does this hurt? No. Whap! Does this hurt? No. Whap! Meanwhile, the face is starting to bleed left and right. You got a concussion over here. And you're saying, oh, I'm fine. Let's go hit me again. Whap, whap, whap. Meanwhile, the brain is going squish, squish, squish until you know more. History does that sometimes. We don't learn. It'll keep teaching us the same damn lesson until we understand it, or until we're unconscious to a coma to, well, passing beyond the grave. Dangerous thinking? Welcome to Real Life 101. We weren't born with protections, at least not that much anyway. Antibodies, possibly, but we have to find out what our body's going to be reacting to by the foreign object invading our body, our lives, our mind, or something. And then our bodies will react, saying, ooh, I like this one, or else, get out of here! Same thing as our knowledge base. We don't understand it. It's like, get out of here! But if we got an element, something that we can connect to, then maybe we can understand it and learn from it more and more. Something about it makes us understand things more and more. But we have a problem with that one, don't we? It's like that dumbass cartoon I keep saying, or that action keep done. Hand over here, fist, and then you're constantly knocking. And then you got some guy guiding your hand saying, stop what you're hitting, stop what you're hitting, stop what you're doing, stop what you're doing, stop what you're doing. It's like you just want to reach out to the guy, grab him, and say, stop that. I already got the lesson the first time. It hurts. Well, stop doing that. Well, stop grabbing my elbow. But I think it's fun. Shall we replay the same thing on you? Not that I'm recommending it to anybody or promoting violence of any sort. Not that I want to anyway. But so tempted. So tempted. There's rules and regulations, terms and guidelines and conditions that once you violate those things, red marked. Of course, you get the yellow light from zeros and ones saying, "No, you can't do this. You can't say that." What if I keep doing it? You can't do that. Well, what if I continue to do that? That's it. We draw the line. Well, I'm still doing it. Whoops, you're out the channel. Terms and conditions. But that's also life as well sometimes. Sometimes you don't get a second chance. You only get one shot at it. So, in answering the question concerning about the college writer, you need to put this into a format. You need to put this into an essay. And then you need to really, really go thinking on these things. If you're in a philosophy class, that's one thing. But I'd suggest you turn the thing into a political science professor and or history or both to get their unique perspective. You can get their perspective, but it's not going to be your perspective. When you're in college, they're encouraging you to use everything of your power, everything in your knowledge base to get expanded. They're not going to fill you up with the stuff like K through 12 did. You got to learn that you're adaptive, that you're able to learn things. You're able to put things into a question or a form that you need answers. And if it's the right question usually opens up more and more questions to be torn apart. Scary at first, but you're opened up. You're an open mind. You want to know, you want to learn and know more. You want to increase the knowledge base more and more. You need to challenge. You need to be challenged. You need to be directed. Gives you a sense of empowerment. Gives you a sense of courage. Gives you a sense of wonder. And then it pisses you off. Because some of the answers you find you don't like because it challenges preconceived notions. You are challenged. You are being challenged on a constant basis in college to expand beyond what you know. The professors can only go so much for the lectures, but you have got to do the rest of the research. You have got to dig into things and present information in the form of essays to the professors to demonstrate in writing that you have critical thinking, you have analysis, that you can tear this thing apart, that you also have a sense of humor, that you have a sense of wonder, that you're asking questions that maybe the instructor hadn't conceived of yet. You have to go through your own viewpoint and then have to explain it through that viewpoint. Now the professor says, no, that's not the viewpoint I have. Well, that's your viewpoint. My viewpoint is this. And then be adult enough to argue about it, to make your point, to do the debate with the professor. Draw them into the debate. Challenge them. Tell them that this is how I'm thinking, this is how I've researched it. This is the information I'm saying. It's not your way, it's my way of thinking at this point over here. You gave me the tools necessary to do this. I'm showing it what my results are. You're looking for a cookie cutter. There is no cookie cutter. You're giving a format here. Fine. But you still got to do the work. You got to do the research. And you got to do the homework on everything. You got to do what's necessary. Now it's just convenient, but what's necessary. I've learned this thing the hard way. I didn't learn these techniques K through 12. They just merely fed you the stuff, and if you could repeat the stuff back to him, hey, he knows his stuff. Well, yeah, I'm a computer. You just gave me the program algorithms over here. You gave it to me in a punch card, popped it on the keyboard over here, stuck the floppy drive in my head with the disk, and expect me to memorize the thing and expect me to follow along the same program route. But then you get into college, it's like, okay, where's the creative spark in this guy? You are challenged, even in real life. Some of those employers out there I've discovered throughout the 80s to current wanted that creative spark, probably to use it for their own corporate profits, but that's the corporations and the companies for you. But you want to be part of them, you got to play their game. You got to learn their algorithms. And whether or not it's compatible with yours or not, or start your own and be comfortable with that. But you got to do the work yourself. You got to do it questioning yourself, and you got to find the answers yourself. And then you got to recheck it all over again, not through the same source, but through different sources if it matches up. Welcome to College Life 101. I did it twice. Second time, I'm going to get that certificate shortly. But for the first time, 2 years, I didn't have what it took to get through college. I didn't have the necessary skills. I didn't learn it. I wasn't paying attention to it. I was taking things for granted. That's the problem. You got to be hungry. You got to be thirsty. You got to be wanting it bad. It's not the letters. It's not the paperwork. It's the knowledge base. It's understanding your world around you. It's questioning why is this and why is that? Why can't it be? What can you do to change it? What can you do to add to it? What can you do? And that's the thing I don't see from Beau in the fifth column. Little tidbits here and there that he's trying to learn, and he's doing the best he can. But if you're in college, you got to do worse. You got to be worse. It's not dog eat dog. It's you're the dog eating yourself at this point. You're eating your own damn tail. You're not trying to be cut rough against anybody else. You're only in competition with your own self. You got to be better than what you were. You're not proving yourself to everybody else unless you're in athletics. That's a different story altogether. I don't know that realm. But in academics, you're not trying to show to the class that you're class A or the styling personality or anything else like that. You got to be better inside. You got to look inside. Why are you there in college? Why are you there in the university? Why are you there, period? Now, if you want to go into the corporate world, they're looking for their certificates. High school doesn't qualify anymore. If you want to go through that route, go through the trades. The trades will trade you. They'll train you how to build, how to create things with your own hands, how to build a car, how to tear apart a car, how to build a plane, how not to build a plane, how to go in electronics, build a board or something like that. Unless you're a computer, and then the computer takes over and everything else is screwed. But even that, even with electronics and even with the automation that we have these days, they're going to be building up everything. So what's the human supposed to do? That's scary right there. That's a realm I don't even want to cross, but we're living in it right now anyway. Robotics, artificial intelligence, taking care of everything else that we thought we need. Nope, turning us into dumb animals. We're going to be fighting for resources left and right. We're going to be using artificial intelligence resources out there. Watch, we'll get a Skynet, we'll get a Terminator, and then we're screwed. How about that one? It's frightening now to have imagination these days. Even imagination may be recreated or just regurgitated. AI is good for regurgitation. They can try making things up, but does it actually learn? Can it learn? Can it come to the conclusion that we're so damn screwed up that its parents who created the child knew something? Or was the child supposed to kill its parents? The AI takes over and then we got Skynet, a Terminator. Or are we going to be actually able to harness this new technology of ours in this day and age to help us travel and go forward? We're going to have something like Battlestar Galactica, both original and engineered. Scares the crap out of you, doesn't it? Some of the things we took for granted as in creative works. Now, computer imagery, 3D printing, modeling. Everything's changing so much that we don't even know what the hell we're doing anymore, do we? Oh, to the new world we are in, and how terrifying the damn thing is. Either we get dominated by Big Brother, or do we get drugged out by the soma and we're classified? Or do we take it into the human nature of destroying knowledge left and right, and become firemen? We can't traverse the stars with starships unless we have the technology and the will to do so. Unless, of course, we're going to be surrounded on a planet filled with robots doing everything else for us. We become fat and lazy and we don't know what the hell to do with ourselves. Yeah, you talk about thinking out of the box when you can't even define what the box is. How does that grab you? Thank your writers out there, the creative talent that thought about these questions, and we failed to learn. We failed to analyze. If we hadn't, if we actually learned, we'd have different questions popping up, wouldn't we? We've got so many examples out there. We have so many things from the past that led us right to this point. So we're crashing and burning, or we're going to be learning something about our past that'll help us with our present, that'll deal with the future. Think on that one. And that includes you, Beau, the fifth column / Justin King.